Awesome. Let's get started. We're going to be going over problem number 19 of today's sprint round. Problem number 19 says an 8 by 8 grid of unit squares. What is the expected number of unit squares that share an edge with a randomly chosen unit square? Express your answer as a common fraction. Now, there are three cases that we specifically need to think about in this grid. I'm not going to draw out all 64 of these squares, but I can draw a couple lines to help us think of the different cases. So in our first case, we have this space in here. These are the unit squares that border four different other unit squares. For instance, if we picked this unit square right here, it has a border with a unit square here, 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 and here. Now, how many of these are there? Well, there are 8 by 8 or 64 unit squares in the entire grid, and 2 columns and 2 rows are shut off by being the edges, which are different cases that we'll discuss separately, which means that this space fully inside the grid is a 6 by 6 grid of unit squares. So there's 36 of these out of a total of 64. And they all border 4 sides. So out of these 36 squares, we get an expected value of 4 out of the total of 64 unit squares entirely. For our second case, let's focus on the 4 corners here, 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 and here. That's a total of 4 squares, and each of them border 2 different other unit squares. And that's out of the total of 64 unit squares. And finally, our third case is going to focus on the unit squares along the edges, but not on the corners. Each of these sections are a 6 by 1 row or column of unit squares. So there's a total of 6 times 4 or 24 of these unit squares, and they each border 3 different other unit squares, again, out of that 64. So to find the total expected number, we simply add these 3 cases together, and we're left with 36 times 4 plus 4 times 2 plus 24 times 3 over 64. And we could calculate out these products together, but one thing you should notice is that 24 times 3, we can rewrite that as 4 times 18. And now all 3 of these multiplications are being multiplied by 2. We have 4 times 2, 4 times 18, and 4 times 36. 4 times 2 and 4 times 18 makes 4 times 20. 4 times 20 plus 4 times 36 gives us 4 times 56. Over 64. And then we can do some cancellations. We can cancel this factor of 4 with a factor of 4 in 64, turning that into 16. And then 56 and 16 both share a factor of 8, turning the 56 into a 7 and the 16 into a 2, for a final answer of an expected value of 7/2, which is our answer. Thank you very much.
This is Tim. Hope you're enjoying our videos. If so, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that sort of thing. But what I'd really want to invite you to do is to send us an email at media@mathleague.org. Tell us which problems you'd like to see us cover next in our video series. Take care and see you in the next video.